Hello and welcome to this episode of Miss Fitch Crafting. I have been asked to review some tapes by Crafttapesrus, which I don't mind doing because I personally do use their tape and I personally find it very good tape. It comes in many sizes. As you can see here, we have a 3mm, which is the one I use a lot. We have this type of double-sided tape, which, although I find hard to get off when it's on, is very, very strong. We also have this size, and today I'll just do a few quick projects just to show you how good this tape is. As I said, it's very strong and not always easy to get off, but it's worth having a little bit of patience. To start off with, we will just do a basic, simple adhesive card just to show you that you can use this tape as well as wet glue to stick it down. So you fold your basic card any size that you would like. If you want to be exact, feel free to, but today I'm just winging it. So you fold your card in half and then fold the top half in half again to give you your easel like this. Now, as that looks a bit big to me, what I'm going to do is look at the piece that's going to go on it, which will go here. And I will make a snip here. Then I will lie this card flat. Find the score line when I make the cut and score it to make it easier to cut. And then I will take my trusty craft knife and cut off that excess. There we go. And then we have the easel base, to which I'm going to stick this, which will be your main panel. Normally I would stick this on with a tacky glue, but for the purpose of the review I am going to do this with the double-sided. So from the end, which isn't always easy, I do recommend you put a pin or something at the end to help you find it next time. Whereas this is a brand new roll, it has the blue piece on the end. And then get your base that you're going to stick on your easel and stick your tape down and trim. Now remember, you only have to do this on this bottom piece because the top piece will be hanging over. So as I'm using the really thin 3mm, put a couple of strips. Obviously if you used the larger tape you wouldn't need to use as many strips. I think 3 should be more than plenty. And brush those down to make sure they are stuck. Now, as I said, this is a bit where it gets tricky because you have to find the end without lifting the whole tape up, but once you do it peels off quite easy. There's one. Let's do that again. If you're wondering why I'm doing an overhang, you can always push that back on itself, but I find it easier to find the end with a little overhang. And if you can't find the end on one side, go around and try the other. As I said, it is a little bit fiddly with any of these tapes. It doesn't matter who manufactures it, it's always fit, especially when you don't have any nails like me. It's always fiddly. I've seen people do it with craft knives, I've seen people do it with pokey tools, but personally I can never find the end with any tools. I always find it with my nails. So again, fairly tough. It takes a bit of time, yes, but what good project doesn't take time? You know, there's, when you're card crafting, you do it at your own pace, there's no rush. So, you know, does it matter that it takes a few moments to peel the back off? No, not really. Would I recommend this tape? Yes, I would. It does what it says on the bottle, you know. It's double-sided tape and it sticks down very well. It's extra strong, so you don't have any worries of it falling off. It's affordable. Depending on the size that you buy, you can get 6 rolls for as little as £4, which for the American viewers is around $4.50. I will put a link below to the eBay site that I use. As far as I am aware, they do ship internationally, but as always with anything on eBay, if in doubt, message the seller. I buy this regular. I buy at least 6 rolls every month or so because I do a lot of card crafting and I want a reliable tape. I don't want to be going out and buying lots of different tapes and finding they don't work, lots of different glues. I mean, people will tell you they swear by Pinflair, some will tell you they swear by glitter glue, some will tell you that they like the tacky glues. It's personal preference. There are certain projects where I swear by the Hobbycraft tacky glue, which a 120ml bottle is £3. But when you look at that and then realise that you can get 6 rolls of this tape for the same price, if you prefer double-sided tape, then I would really recommend this. I mean, there you go, we have a quick, simple, easy card in a few minutes and it's strong. That bottom panel is not going anywhere. That is not going to move. And then you can just decorate the rest of the card. Now, say you wanted to put a panel on the inside, you could use the same, or you could use the other tape, or whatever is personal preference. Now at the moment I am addicted to making these corner bookmarks. Absolutely addicted to them. I have a panda and a snake, and my friend Jen Evers showed me how to make them yesterday, and they're really simple. You take a 5x5 square, which we will do right now. We take a 5x5 square. So let's mark this down, 5. Let me just have a sip of my drink. So we have 5 that way. We'll turn this and make sure it is 5 this way. Again, I will give you a link to Jen Evers at the bottom of this review, as why not? If you want to learn how to do a lot of card making, Jen Evers, it's spelt Evers but pronounced Evers, is brilliant for teaching you this. She'll teach you anything you need to know. Once you have your 5x5 square, you fold in half one way And I know you're all wondering how this will tie in on the tape, but I promise all will become apparent. But if I can teach you something at the same time as doing a review, I certainly will. And yes, I have a mess around me, but I'm not going to tie this up because I'm also a great believer in being real and showing people that you can work with the simplest of things. Once you've folded both ways, you will have your 4 squares. Take your scissors and cut any one of the square off so that you're left with 3 squares. Okay. Now you're going to cut this, but make sure when you cut this you hold it in a V shape. Because believe me, if you don't and you cut it wrong, you will just end up with a diamond. However, if you hold it up and have the V, then you take from this end here and cut upwards. Now you could try and do it this way, but I am going for easiness to flip. And then you will cut this way, and then you will have what I call a back face, which is a diamond with 2 spikes coming off. Now what we will do next is flip those 2 spikes down to give you this. Now this is the bit that you will stick. Normally you would use a tacky glue, cover this, stick this down, hold it for a few minutes, and that will give you the basis of your corner. Then you decorate it with any animal or design you wish to do. But to show you how versatile this tape is, we're going to do it with this. Now, as I said, this is hard to find it's very thin underneath. I don't know if you can see that, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to cut a piece of this off. And we're going to use this. I've just ripped the piece that I cut off into 2. We will put 1. Don't know whether you can see this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put 1 piece here. And we will put another piece over here. Don't worry if it overhangs, just trim. And then I tend to use the base where my nail would be and really brush this one down, because I personally don't find this as easy to get the backing off the adhesive as I do with the red. But as I said, nothing worth doing is done quickly, and the benefits outweigh the downsides. See, if you're not careful and you pull up, it will pull up the adhesive as well. If that happens, just push it down and just brush for a few more moments until it's adhered properly, and then find your end again and pull up. There will be others that will show you other ways of picking this up and doing it really easy and make it look a lot more professional than me. There you go. Once it goes, it goes. If a bit's come up, just stick that down. Not a big deal. And again, this side, we just go and we make sure that our adhesive is well and truly stuck to the card. And then you find the end. See, that one come up really easy. And you pull. Then you take your other half of your card and you bring it over. And you stick it down and you rub. Trim any extra bits off the sides. And there you have the basis of your corner bookmark. And if you don't know what I mean, if you imagine that this card you made is your book and you're halfway through reading your page, you would slip this onto your page. Now you can leave it plain, you can turn it into an animal as we have here, a panda and a snake. Or you can just take some pretty offcuts of paper and decorate it or colour it in. It's your choice, ladies and gentlemen, but I just wanted to prove how versatile this tape was, because these ones I did with tacky glue. And as you can see, they have stuck, but a good pull and they would come undone. However, this one, that's not going anywhere. That is not going anywhere. It doesn't smell bad. I have had some tapes in the past that smell really bad. which I expect with a wet glue or a spray glue, but I do not expect with a double-sided tape. Or strong tape, or whatever you people call it, but here in the UK we call it double-sided. I call this my red double-sided because you do have your double-sided foams and your other double-sided tape here, but I like my extra strong. As a rule of thumb, as children we thought red means danger. Well, my rule of thumb as a crafter means red is extra strong. So if you want something guaranteed that is extra strong, value for money, and does what it says, please pop along to Crafttapesrus on eBay, and I will put all the links below so there's no need to worry, and go get some tape. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We will bring you another episode of Misfits Crafting sometime soon. Thank you and goodbye.